with me for a while. Not as a teacher, not as a preacher, but as someone who has watched the sun rise and fall for many years, in silence, in prayer, and in simple observation of life. If you're listening to this today, it means you've lived. And by now, you know that life is not measured only by time, but by what we do with that time and how well we've listened to the quiet warnings of our own body and spirit. Let me ask you something. Have you noticed your strength slipping away lately? The walk to the mailbox feels longer. The jar lid feels tighter. The arms that once lifted grandchildren now ache from lifting a teacup. This is not just age, my friend. It's a message. A message your body is whispering. And sometimes, we do not listen until it starts to shout. Let me tell you a story. In my village, there was a wise elder woman named Amatashi. She was nearly 90, but every morning she would walk barefoot to the river with her cane in one hand and a small bucket in the other. I asked her one day, "Amma, why do you do this every day when your legs shake so much?" She smiled and said, "Child, if I do not ask my legs to carry me, they will forget how." I never forgot that. You see, strength isn't just about muscle. It's about memory. Not just memory of the mind, but of the body. And what the body remembers, it can hold on to. But when we stop feeding it, when we stop using it, it forgets. And there's one crucial food, especially for seniors, that helps the body remember. It's not a pill, it's not a miracle cure, it's protein. Yes, pure, simple, nourishing protein. The kind you may have once eaten without thinking, and now might have quietly left off your plate. But here's the truth. After the age of 60, your body becomes less efficient at using the protein you eat. You need more of it, not less. Not just for muscles, but for your immune system, your energy, your clarity of thought. Yet, many seniors shy away from it, thinking it's too heavy or not necessary anymore. But let me remind you of something. The temple does not stay standing simply because it was once built strong. It stays standing because it is maintained, because the pillars are still cared for. You are that temple. I've seen it time and again. A man who walked into our monastery, frail and hunched, who simply began eating lentils, boiled eggs, and a spoon of ghee daily. In 3 months, his back was straighter, his mind sharper. He didn't just return to strength. He returned to himself. I want the same for you. So, take a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you truly nourished your body with intention? Not just filled it, but fed it? Because the way we care for our bodies in this season of life is how we show gratitude for the journey it has carried us through. And gratitude, dear one, is the highest form of prayer. In the next part of this conversation, I want to share with you some of the most powerful yet overlooked sources of protein that are gentle, healing, and perfect for the aging body. But more importantly, I want to talk about what we feed our spirit each day. Because what we eat with our mouth keeps our muscles strong, but what we eat with our mind keeps our soul alive. So sit with me again on the next page. Let's continue this journey towards strength, clarity, and peace. Dear friend, thank you for choosing to stay with me, to sit a little longer, and to listen not only with your ears, but with your heart. Because the heart remembers what the mind forgets, and the body follows the soul that is nourished. In the last part of our conversation, we talked about how your muscles may be quietly fading, not because of time alone, but because the fuel has changed, or perhaps disappeared altogether. So now, let's speak about the foods of strength. You see, in my monastery, we don't eat for taste. We eat for life. Every grain, every bite is a prayer of gratitude. And the simple foods we eat are not magical. But the awareness we bring to eating them, That is the magic. Let me share some simple yet powerful foods that are rich in protein, yet gentle for aging bodies. And more than that, I will tell you why they matter, not just physically, but spiritually. First, lentils, the humble dal. In every monastery from Nepal to Bhutan to Sri Lanka, dal is sacred. It's easy to digest, full of protein, iron, and nourishment. But more than that, lentils are communal. They are shared. They are stirred slowly over the fire, in silence or in chanting. And when you eat them, you are taking in not just strength, you are taking in stillness. Second, eggs, one of the most complete proteins on this earth. And yet, many elders fear them. Cholesterol, weight, this and that. But in truth, 1 egg a day, boiled, warm, with love, can awaken parts of the body that have been sleeping. The egg is a symbol of rebirth, new life. And even now, at this stage of your life, you are still being born, again and again. Third, Greek yogurt or curd, alive with beneficial bacteria, healing to the gut, and strengthening to the bones. In our tradition, we often say, a healthy gut is the house of a peaceful mind. Why? Because the gut speaks to the brain. When digestion is calm, the mind is clear. When digestion is disturbed, the mind becomes agitated. Have you noticed this? Fourth, nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, chia. Not in excess, just a handful. They contain the oils that keep the joints moving and the mind alert. I always say, an elder with a handful of almonds a day walks like a child and remembers like a sage. And finally, melted butter. Sacred clarified. Butter? It feeds the tissues. It soothes the nerves. It carries nutrients deep into the body. And in many rituals, ghee is the offering poured into sacred fire. So when you eat it, remember that you are offering back to the sacred fire within, your own body. Now, I want you to imagine your body not as something growing older, but as a home. Each time you nourish it intentionally, you are lighting a lamp in that home. Each time you starve it of what it needs, a room goes dark. Which parts of your home are well lit, and which have been forgotten? Have you ignored the strength of your legs? Have you dimmed the fire in your belly? Have you been afraid to look into the mirror because the person you see no longer resembles the one you remember? Let me offer you something from my own journey. There was a time, many years ago, when I fell ill. A strange fatigue came over me. I was young, but even rising from bed felt like moving a mountain. The elder monks watched me for days, until one said, "You are meditating with an empty body. You are praying with dry lips." They prepared warm khichdi, rich with lentils, turmeric, and ghee. And for 10 days, I did nothing but eat slowly, breathe fully, and rest. And do you know what happened? I realized something profound. We do not heal with thoughts alone. We heal by respecting the body that carries those thoughts. So today, I ask you, what respect will you offer your body? Not with harsh diets or empty promises, but with the soft vow of presence, to nourish, to move, to breathe, to thank. Because strength does not come from lifting heavy weights. It comes from lifting yourself, each morning with purpose. And purpose, dear one, is the food your soul has been asking for. In the next part of this conversation, we will go deeper. We'll explore the connection between muscle loss and memory loss. We'll reflect on how your habits now, not just food, but movement and mindset, are either building you up or gently breaking you down. And I will share with you a story of a 92-year-old monk who shocked us all with what he carried on his shoulders and the secret he whispered before he passed. Let's continue this journey together. Let's keep this light on. You've returned again, and that tells me something beautiful about you. that you value your health, not just for yourself, but for those who love you, who rely on your wisdom, and who still need your presence in their lives. Because aging is not the closing of the book. It is the final chapters where the most sacred lessons are told. And often, the most important. Stories come only when we are quiet enough to hear them. I promised you a story. And this one still lives in my heart. There was an old monk in our monastery. His name was Lama Dorje. He was 92 years old when he passed. His back was curved like the crescent moon, and his eyes had seen the rise and fall of generations. But do you know what amazed us all? Every morning, without fail, he would carry 2 buckets of water, one in each hand, down the long stone path from the well to the temple. No one asked him to. We had younger monks who could do it faster, stronger, and with less strain. But he said something I will never forget. When I stop carrying water, I stop carrying purpose. When my hands are empty, so is my spirit. Those buckets weren't just filled with water. They were filled with meaning. And that meaning gave his muscles a reason to hold on. You see, the body follows the mind, and the mind follows intention. If you believe you are done growing, your body listens. If you believe your days are simply for waiting, your muscles obey. But if you believe that each sunrise is a fresh chance to participate in life, to walk, to nourish, to give, then your body will rise to meet that belief. Now, let's speak of something sensitive, but necessary. Memory. Not the memory of where you put your glasses or the names of your neighbors, but the memory of your soul. Your body holds more than you know. And one of the most hidden truths is this: when your muscles begin to fade, so too can your ability to hold on to the rhythm of your days. There is a deep link between muscle strength and memory function. Modern science is beginning to say what monks have known for centuries: a moving body creates a moving mind. Stillness of the muscles leads to stagnation of thought. Not the stillness of meditation, but the stillness of disuse. The kind of stillness that leads to forgetting why we wake, why we stretch, why we breathe deeply in the morning. So I encourage you, take small walks, use stairs when you can. Lift what you are capable of lifting, without fear, without shame. You are not exercising to become younger. You are exercising to remember who you are. Let me give you a small practice. Each morning, before you eat, stand up and slowly raise your arms to the sky. Close your eyes and say, aloud or silently, I am still here. I am still strong. I am still needed, because you are. There are children who need your stories. There are neighbors who need your calm presence. There are friends who are waiting for your call. And there is a body waiting for you to honor it one more time. One more thing. Muscle isn't only what helps you lift and move. It's also what helps you stand tall in who you are. When we lose that strength, we begin to shrink, not just physically, but spiritually. You were not meant to shrink. You were meant to carry wisdom, to move with peace, and to walk with quiet dignity. Not in fear of age, but in celebration of it. So whether it's protein on your plate or purpose in your heart, begin again, today. And don't do it alone. Invite someone to walk with you. Cook for someone who is ill. Share a meal with someone who feels forgotten. Because when you feed another soul, your own becomes stronger. In the final part of our conversation, I will share with you 5 daily habits that can reverse physical weakness and restore mental clarity in profound ways. And I will leave you with one final story, a moment from the end of Lama Dorje's life, and the sacred truth he left for us all. Please, return for the final page. It is the closing of this teaching, and I promise, it will stay with you long after this video ends. You've come this far with me, dear friend, That alone speaks volumes about your spirit. We've walked through stories, through silence, through nourishment and memory. And now we arrive at the closing of this small teaching, not as a goodbye, but as a reminder that life, even in its final seasons, is still very much alive. Before I leave you today, I promise to share 5 simple daily habits, gentle things that, if done consistently, can reignite the strength of the body and the stillness of the mind. Let's breathe together now. Begin your day with warm water and stillness. Before you speak to the world, speak to your body. Warm water awakens digestion. Stillness awakens intention. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. No phone, no rush. Just you and presence. Move with reverence. Whether it's a slow walk, light stretching, or even gardening, move your body with love, not force. Your body is your oldest friend. Treat it gently, but don't ignore it. Even 10 minutes a day is a blessing. Include strength on your plate. A handful of soaked almonds, a bowl of lentils, a little ghee, a boiled egg, or some Greek yogurt. These are not luxuries. They are your tools. You deserve to be nourished deeply. Share something with someone. A story, a warm bowl of soup, a memory from your youth. When you give, even just a word, you remind your spirit that it is still necessary. End the day with gratitude and gentle reflection. Write down or whisper 3 things you are grateful for. Not grand things, simple ones, like my knees held me today, or my hands made tea, or even I woke up. These small acts, when done with attention, become powerful medicine. And now, as we draw to a close, I want to tell you what Lama Dorje whispered before he left this world. It was a quiet evening. The wind was still. The candles in our meditation hall burned low, and we all knew his time was near. One by one, we came to sit beside him, and just before his final breath, he smiled faintly and said, "The body may weaken, but the soul grows stronger with every act of kindness, every meal shared in love, and every moment lived with full attention. Don't waste even a single breath." And then he was gone. But he left us full, not with sorrow, but with peace, because he lived the truth. That strength is not in the muscle alone. It is in the will to show up for life again and again. So now I leave you with this. You are not fading. You are unfolding. You are not useless. You are becoming more useful in quieter ways. You are not forgotten. You are still writing your story. One bite, one breath, one beautiful step at a time. Take care of your body, not out of fear, but out of love. It has carried you across decades. It deserves to be honored. And remember, your strength has not disappeared. It is simply waiting to be remembered. Long pause. Sound of distant chanting fades in softly, harmonizing with the stream and flute. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for choosing yourself again today. And may peace fill every corner of your day and every cell of your being until we meet again. Are your muscles quietly disappearing as you age? You're not alone, and you're not powerless. In this peaceful yet eye-opening talk, a monk shares the forgotten truth about aging, nutrition, strength, and soul purpose. Learn the exact foods your body needs, the habits to restore your energy, and the real reason your muscles and memory may be slipping away. This is more than a health talk. It's a wake-up call for your spirit. Don't miss the 5 powerful daily habits that can change everything. Listen to the ancient story of Lama Dorje and the lesson he left behind. Learn how purpose, food, and movement work together. To bring back your vitality, comment below. What's one habit you'll start today to honor your body? Like this video if it gave you peace or insight. Subscribe for more monk wisdom and spiritual health teachings. Share this video with a loved one who needs to hear this today. You are still needed. You are still strong. Let this be your new beginning.